Good morning. Hello, dollies.
Hello.
I've been trying to think of a good greeting to go with. I've been watching this show called it's on thehill.com and it's called Rising with Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty, who are like these she's like very left wing and he's actually a Republican, but they talk a lot about election stuff and I just love their point of view. But every morning,
Her name is Crystal Ball.
yeah, her
She's
legal
not a drag queen.
not a drag queen. Her name's Crystal Ball, and she's my favorite person to follow on election stuff. I watch them every morning during the primaries, and I've been watching them every morning this past week. But they always start the show saying "Hello, risers." Good morning, risers. So I'm like, we need to find some sort of pet name for our viewers.
Yes. What are people should in the comments give us recommendations for good pet names?
Yes. In the moment, all I could think of was "Hello, dollies," but I'm open.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
How are you?
I'm good. This outlaw, this is the longest Tuesday night of my life. But
Oh my God.
oh brother. I mean,
I can't believe we were just doing this a week ago on last Tuesday.
I'm so out of my mind. I'm so like I need to get back to some kind of a life and self-care. Like I was so completely in the grips of the just the count all last week. I mean, Adam Feldman, friend of the pod, came over Tuesday night and we watched the election returns and he left, I don't know, at like midnight or something. And it
was bleak.
All week, all I did, except for sleep and shower, was sit in front of that TV on my phone, on my computer, and every single vote that got, and I was like so obsessive. And it was so joyous when they finally called it on Saturday. And I was so relieved that Fox News did it. And, to hear from George Bush and Mitt Romney and people like that. But, then now I'm like in this tailspin with all this nonsense and I'm trying to hold on to the stuff people are saying about like, this is all just a scheme to, XYZ for different ulterior motives and that it's not actually threatening the, Joe Biden becoming president January 20th. And then I just get so angry that they're undermining, our country coming together and the legitimacy of his administration by, these like callous games with our democracy. I mean, it's, and I really need to take a break from it. I really need to get back to like, just like the sun comes up and I think about not that,
Yeah.
And
going right. I mean, I agree. It was the longest week ever. And a Tuesday night especially was so bleak. And I just went to bed feeling so defeated and so pessimistic. And then of course, the mail-in votes started rolling in, choose insert meme here, whoever the mail-in votes represent to you. And then, of course, with a glimmer of hope on the horizon, I just became sucked into CNN, MSNBC, 24/7. And then, of course, this weekend, whenever we got the good news, I mean, a weight was just lifted. But I do have to say, shout out to our show and our famous Bernadette clip, because the Tuesday, Thursday, April, August clip of Bernadette singing has been used a lot this week. Like, when will we know the results? And then they would post that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it kind of like gave our show another little second meaning.
Yes.
So with that said, live from New York, it's Tuesday morning.
Autumn, winter, next year.
Time heals everything. It's a song. And time heals everything.
It's also worth mentioning that back in the primaries, you and I came up with, I guess we did this on the podcast. We came up with which Democratic candidate represented which diva.
Yes.
I was mentioning that Bernadette was Joe Biden.
Yes. And I don't think we had a Kamala because I think when we did it, she was already out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But Patty was Bernie.
Yeah.
Sutton was Pete, Mayor Pete.
No, Emily O'Hara was Mayor Pete, which really upset Joseph Papa.
O'Hara was Mayor Pete. Sutton.
I don't know if Sutton was in it. She might have been Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang, that's right. And then my favorite was oh God, I can't even remember his name now. Tom. Well, who's that candidate that kept moving on? I can't remember his name now, but Tom, whatever his name was, he was Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah, and Betty Buckley was Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
Michael Bloomberg was Glenn Close, but no cigar. Hi, Macon. Hi, John.
All our friends. Hey,
John, you'll never get a tank top from me. I do not wear tank tops. Literally one time in my life, on the 4th of July in the blazing sun on Fire Island, I wore not a tank top, just a sleeveless t-shirt, just to be out sweating in the sun. And we took a group shot. My arms were barely visible. And my best friend texted me, tank top? ? Who are you? I just spit right at my computer.
Well, and I am... that's my usual uniform, but I'm transitioning into t-shirts since it's now fall, although these past few days have just been gorgeous. And I actually went out in shorts and sandals Saturday and Sunday.
Me too.
Scott Yannick, hello.
Hi. Thank you, John. That's very kind.
John Tilford, so sweet. Yeah, if you're also a Taryn, all our other friends who like to comment, please let your presence be known. We want to say hi to you.
Karen and Caroline, we don't like it if you're here and you don't talk, but I have a feeling that means you're not here, which makes me so sad.
Artifact 11, tanks don't work for all.
Thank you, Artifact 11. I feel seen.
Tanks, but no tanks. Okay, so this week has been really, really eventful, and not only has it, given us this great glimmer of hope with the president-elect, but it's also spawned a lot of great memes and content. There's so many I wanted to play, but I'm sure it's all using copyrighted material, so I, erred on the side of caution. But my favorite, there was a couple of ones that I love, but my very favorite one was the Sister Act 2 Oh Happy Day parody. So good. But I wanted to play this one as a little follow-up. We really just need a segment of the show called Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
Last week we played the one that she had posted, something about all we need is love. And she posted this one right after Biden was announced. So I wanted to play that for the viewers.
Congratulations, President-elect Joe Biden. Those were my great nephews. And they can look forward to a great future. Yeah! Why? We won. Hey! Now everybody go have some fun. Yeah! Why? 'Cause we won. Yeah, we won. Now everybody go have some fun. Go have some fun. Yeah, we won. Shaka Khan, baby.
I salute Jennifer.
I love her. What was she wearing, first of all? It looks like she got out of the shower and just put on a robe, which
it's like the kind of robe you put on an infant.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I had a little Big Bird little bathrobe like that when I was a kid. You just went on mute.
I did that on purpose because I had to burp.
Oh. Anyway, so live, laugh, love her. Another lady we need to follow up with, of course, we went over her Instagram posts, her countdown to the election last week, Ms. Glenn Close But No Cigar. She did a little like puppet show in celebration. So I thought we would show that as well, starring her dog, Pip.
Yay!
Get cookie.
Ah!
Okay.
And apparently she like wrote in the caption that it was not planned. So we just knew what to do.
I am loving Glenn Close so much right now.
Hey, Luann.
Luan.
Oh, look, her profile pic is with Bernadette.
Love that. Love Bernie.
Yes, we won.
Okay.
Yeah, we won.
Now, you know, I had, speaking of all the memes, a lot of America and the world was really falling for Steve Kornacki.
Yes.
Who does the vote updates on
we have to talk about all the news people. There's so many hotties.
So many hotties, and all of them. I mean, the women too, you know, and I really like clung to them because all week I was like, okay, I know where this is heading in the right direction. I know it's going to be okay. I know it's because people voted through the mail and it takes longer to count those right now, you know, because the obstructionist legislatures wouldn't allow them to count them in advance like they did in some states like Florida. But, you know, it was so nerve-wracking and so terrifying. And I was clinging to them. I mean, they were really giving me such, you know, because I feel like we're like all like, you know, abused children, you know, waiting to know if the cops are going to keep our alcoholic father, you know, in the, you know, jail, or is he going to come home and beat our mom and, you know, throw us on the street again? I mean, it's like, that's what I felt. And I realized, and Steve Kornacki, I think part of the reason he touched such a chord, Caroline, we miss you so much. I think part of the reason he touched such a chord is because he's the opposite of Donald Trump, you know, and really politicians in general. Like Steve Kornacki has no spin, you know, he's just like, let me figure out this data and just give it to you, you know, it's so like unfettered and
so earnest.
And I really I wanted that so badly, and I was really had so many feelings for him. And I told you I wanted to do a video of singing to him, and I wrote like most of like a lyric to like "Dear Mr. Gable, You Made Me Love You" to
Oh,
Dear.
yes, do you want to actually give us a little bit?
Yeah, I'll tell you some. Like, what did I have? Where is it? Here we go. I was like, dear Steve Kornacki, I am tweeting this at you, and I hope that you will watch it so you'll know your work on the election. It gives me an erection. You know, I guess I'm just some thirsty Kornacki. You made me watch news. I didn't want to do it. The pollsters really blew it. You made me watch news for votes that you've been counting. You got my heartbeat mounting. You made me happy sometimes when Biden hit the mark. But there were times, Steve, you made me feel so dark. And that's this one lyric was a little shaky. You made me sigh, cause as they unpacked those pallets, the rest were mail-in ballots.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Eat your heart out, Randy Rainbow.
And then the really the one that you won't like. I said, Don't believe that Joe's for fracking, but first things first, let's send the fucking Donald packing.
Yes, good. Great lyrics. I love Erection and Election is brilliant.
I was trying to get also a rhyme between OnlyFans and Kornacki Cam, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, that you need to mention the Kornacki Cam though. One of the funniest things that I saw also was someone posted a photoshopped image of the screen, and then the Kornacki Cam, it was a picture of someone showering, a man showering, and it was like, does he know the camera?
Oh, yeah. I saw that, and for a second I was like, yeah.
Wait, okay, I go back to Caroline for a second. Caroline, where do you live? Do you not live in the US? I don't know this. I love it. We're so international.
Some of our most diehard dollies, if we haven't thought of it yet.
Yeah.
Some of our most diehard dollies are international. Caroline, and so is Taryn.
I know. Yeah, I knew Taryn, but okay. Well, so we followed up with
London town.
Oh, London. We actually went to London together just a couple years ago.
In the before time.
In the before time, yeah. Truly the golden age of our traveling abroad. We saw Company, The Inheritance, what everyone's talking about, Jamie.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so let's go into more appreciations. I know you feel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Your first one looks like some sort of performance on a train, perhaps?
Oh, okay. Well, this is, I think I told people that there's a treasure trove on YouTube of full show archival videos of productions from the American Musical Theater of San Jose in the Bay Area in California, formerly known as San Jose Civic Light Opera. And this is from a production about 10 or 15 years ago of On the 20th Century, starring two of my favorite Broadway stars. As Lily Garland, it's Judy Blazer. And Judy Blazer is such an undersung hero of mine. She really has one of the most glorious soprano voices in Broadway history. And it's so operatically muscular that I don't think there's been enough to do with her on Broadway, because that's not the era that we live in. And she's a real actor. She's done a lot of straight plays. She's a really commanding presence on stage, and she's hilarious, and she's a diva. And so she's perfect, I think, for this. And then I think maybe one of my favorite male stars, I feel like you'll agree, because he's definitely in your vocal aesthetic that I know you enjoy, is Mark Jacoby as Oscar Jaffe.
I don't really know his work that well.
You do, though. We just don't talk about the men, but he's like in everything. He's the original father in Ragtime, and he was Gaylord Ravenel opposite Rebecca Luker and Elaine Stritch and Showboat, and he was just a million things. It's like we take him for granted, but it's like, even this clip, I realized after when I was cutting it that, like, of course I focused on her part, but even when you just hear him for 30 seconds, you're like, can't sing better than that.
Oh God, I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah, so here it is.
Here we go.
My life is simply great. My silverware is gold. From my banner estate, champagnes are flowing red. Next to my Rolls Royce, a Cadillac's a clear. I'm in clover, and my cup it runneth over. I have left my footprints in the wet concrete. My hometown has a really garden street. I have carved my hands with painted cherie for my name. The price of fame. Look at you and me, the sweetest story told. And high as I can be, you're lying in an alley.
I didn't even show him at all. But everybody should watch it. I mean, it's such a great show. Anyway,
I love that show, and I saw it when Kristen did it. I saw it twice. I loved it so much.
So much.
But I just love that show. It's so like an opera.
Operetta.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's the songs and also just like the love triangle of it all. I mean, it's very like very like Mozart-y almost.
I really do love it so much. It's one of those musicals also because I had never seen it until the Kristen production, which I also loved. Although I didn't think Peter Gallagher was quite. I like a more robust male voice in that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Andy Carl and how much I liked him, but I don't even remember Peter Gallagher.
No, Andy was fabulous. I mean, that's the part that made Kevin Kline a star. So that was disappointing. But I was going to say that I really got into that show when I was in high school, just listening to the CD with Madeline Kahn and John Cullum and Imogene Coca and Kevin Kline. And it's one of those musicals that you can really get obsessed with from the cast recording. There's because it's operetta, like there's so much that is so much of the storytelling is done through the songs, so you can really take the journey listening to it, and it's totally
yeah. I listen to the Kristen one a lot. One of my, I don't know how I would describe it, but a great night in the theater, but like one of the great moments in the theater was whenever they made the transfer, when she goes up and she's like the little, like, here I am, Sophia Petrillo.
Veronique is the song.
And then it goes to Veronique and they make the transition from like, they take off her glasses and her, wig and then like this beautiful blonde hair. She's in like this like majorette uniform. She's like 4'10" and everyone else is like, but you can't take your eyes off her, and just watching her like strut around that stage and just like, own it. I was like,
totally.
Like this is like a star being a star.
Totally.
Speaking of stars, and speaking of our friend Caroline who lives on the West End, we have another clip of two stars of the stage.
Speaking of people that are 4'10".
4'10". Bernadette is one of them. She did not disappoint as the Biden news was announced and everyone was talking about, oh, dogs will be back in the White House. I was like, who's going to like this? Bernadette Peters. And she did not disappoint because she was posting all about those dogs. And it was perfect because it was right on the heels of this West End Woofs. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So this is a clip that you pulled of Bernadette and Elaine Page
co-hosted it, and we have to give a shout out because this is stolen material from Broadway.com, and of course Paul Wontorek, who runs Broadway.com and started it, almost 20 years ago, or maybe it was even 20 years ago now, has done so much for making theater stuff, theater-related content on the internet. I was thinking lately how he's played such a role in the sort of red carpetization, if you will, of like the Tony Awards and stuff. And I love that. I think it contributes. It's good for Broadway because, Broadway.com doesn't only focus on the Bernadette Peterses and the Patti LuPones, although they certainly do, but, they really treat like stars everybody that's up and coming in theater. And it's good, I think, for the industry because, fans collect around stars and fans create energy and ticket sales. And so, and of course, Broadway Barks is Bernadette's pet project that raises money, for animal shelters. And so now they have the London version. And who better to co-host the virtual version of it than Elaine Page?
I mean, just perfect. Here we go.
Remember where we first met?
Oh, well, how can I ever forget it? Cameron Mackintosh was having a 30th anniversary of all the musicals that he'd put on over the years. And I think it was at the Lyceum Theatre here in London.
the dressing room, I remember it was a chorus dressing room, and I'm sitting looking in the mirror, and I look down, and there's Julia McKenzie, and then there's Millicent Martin, and then there's Dame Judi Dench, and then there's Julie Andrews, and then there's Ruthie Henschel on the right side. On the left side of me was Maria Friedman, and there you were. And I went, oh my God, there's Elaine Page. I was very in awe of you. Sitting out there. This was Elaine Page with cats, and it was.
Oh, stop.
No.
I know we're talking about dogs and cats, but really, we don't need to go there.
And Tess, and you were an icon, and I just knew of you, and there you were, and I was a little in awe of you.
Equally, you know, as we're doing a love-in, it's true to say that I feel the same about you, because I've seen you in so many musicals on Broadway over the years, and particularly in Stephen Sondheim's work, because you've done a great deal of his shows, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God. I mean, first of all, I've never heard Bernadette fangirl over anyone.
I know that it's kind of great, this whole West End Woofs, because Bernadette, she's actually in form I've never seen her. She does that with everybody, Robert Lindsay and Twiggy. And
she's like, Twiggy was on there.
She's like not the Bernadette that you think of being like, oh, it's really nice to meet you. She's like a MC like personality, you know?
Yeah, it's like Bernadette really comes alive when dogs are mentioned. You know, it's like that's just really her like passion, truly, is like getting dogs good homes.
Totally.
Yeah, I love them comparing notes, and I love first of all, I just love the art direction of each of their screens. Like Elaine's just in this like really modern office, books wall to wall, and Bernadette's just on this, you know, couch or whatever, full of, you know, floral pillows.
From Barbara Streisand's yard sale.
Yeah, it's very Barbara. Malibu barn house. I don't know. I that makes me very happy. And like Elaine seems wonderful. I've heard, you know, some comments to the contrary sometimes. But Bernadette is just, yeah, like so bubbly, so outgoing, so excited about dogs.
Yeah.
I just really, I'm so glad you pulled that, because I love that.
Me too.
What else do we have? Ooh, do you want to do some Name That Belts?
Oh God, yes.
Here we go.
Well, you really sing out. You really belt a song. There are very few of us left.
So I was so thrilled and inspired last week when we did Name That Belt, and you, with what you were feeling that day, which was American pride and patriotism, you chose the Star Spangled Banner, and so all the songs were just different. All the rounds were just different versions of that, and I love doing that. So I went with what I was feeling today, which is losing my mind, and so I've given you a big selection of Losing My Mind.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, viewers, if you know who it is, you're welcome to chime in as well. For me, the pressure is on because I'm going to try to get it before anyone else gets it, but usually I can't. So we'll see what happens.
Some of them are easier than others, but you know.
Cool.
Okay, here we go.
Patty?
Yes!
1 for 1, baby.
All right. Okay, that was the easiest one, I think.
Patty's voice is so good, that high. It's so good. It sounds so good.
So good. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Is that Julia McKenzie?
No. How dare you?
Play it again, Sam.
Okay.
I do not know this one.
Anybody got it?
It's a very specific voice, but I don't know it.
Do you want a hint? Yes, Zach Couch.
Oh, Zach Couch. Oh, wow. Zach is always knocking him out of the park.
Knocking out. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
You said you loved me.
Anybody got it?
I don't know. It's a little flat, though.
Well, Josh, how could you?
It's not Marin.
No, I think Josh was talking about the last one.
Oh. Okay.
Pop up too fast.
Play it again.
Okay.
Said you loved me, or were you just being kind?
Marilyn May. That is so rude, Scott.
No, definitely not Marilyn. I don't know. I don't know who this is.
All right. Should I give a hint or should we move on? By her quarter tone.
No, we have to get it. We have to get it.
Okay. We'll play a little more.
Play a little more.
Okay. Not gentle, no.
I don't.
Or am I losing
These are very interesting guesses. Tracy Bennett is an excellent guess, Mason. It's wrong, but it's the closest we've heard.
Dinah Shore is also a good guess because it doesn't sound like a great singer.
Well, it is the person who many people, at least at other points in their career, have thought were great singers. I think Josh Scheer means Michelle Pock. Maybe that's a typo. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a decent guess, although it's not as close of a guess as Tracy Bennett was. Actually, I would say this person is sort of the exact midpoint between Michelle Pock and Tracy Bennett. Lee Remick never sang it that I know of, but Steve Mayhack, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you. But no, it's not Lee Remick, Steve. Lorna, no. I mean, Lorna has many bad qualities, but
She could sing that, though.
Yeah, well, at least she could have.
I don't know. I mean, you're gonna maybe just have to give me more hints, like just of who this person is in general.
Well, she's someone we've talked about quite a bit, and she was mentioned today on the pod, on the stream, not by you or I.
Oh,
not in the comments.
Oh, by Bernadette. Ruthie. That's Millicent.
I heard a first name.
Oh, I didn't say in first. Millicent. I said Millicent.
No, before that.
Is it the one that's your favorite? That I already said. No, I already said her though.
You just said no, not Millicent Martin. The sad thing for this person is the people that are making the best guesses, like Tracy Bennett and Millicent. Steve got it, although I don't know what is up with
Ruthie Henschel. You know what? I get her mixed up with for some reason I always get her mixed up with Tracy Bennett. I don't know why.
Tracy Bennett is like an actress who sings, and Ruthie Henschel is like a singer who acts. The problem is that Ruthie Henschel can't really sing that well anymore.
Yes.
So, like, I still will take the Tracy Bennett, Ruthie Henschel, like hoarse throat shouting over, let's just say, less dynamic versions. Shall we move along?
Let's move along.
This one I think is pretty easy.
Okay.
This actually sounds like someone doing an impression of the person.
I'm so happy.
You said you loved me.
Elaine.
Yes.
Elaine Page, baby. Unmistakable.
That's almost a who do you think you are?
It is. It really is.
Okay, this one is one of my favorite versions. See if you can get it.
Oh, that one is the someone just said it. Julia McKenzie.
No.
Oh. Play it again. Play it again.
Julia McKenzie is my favorite version. And Steve Mayhack, yes, Ruthie's Roxy is incredible. I'm so mad that she didn't do that on Broadway.
Yes. She does it in that Cameron McIntosh thing. Is that the one they were talking about?
She does Roxy? Josh got it. Donna McKechnie. That's right.
Oh, I never would have got that.
By the way, the Cameron McIntosh thing Bernadette mentioned with Ruthie and Julia McKenzie and Judi Dench and Julie Andrews and her and Elaine is Hey Mr. Producer, which we covered on our podcast, and we interviewed Cameron McIntosh's North American's operation director for all those years, Richard J. Alexander.
Yeah,
it's a great episode, very dishy.
No, obviously, yeah, no, she doesn't do Roxy, but she wears a very Roxy outfit with like the sheer netting.
Totally. Yeah, very that. Okay, Josh got it. Shall we do a couple more?
Good job, Dominic. I never would have got that. Yes, keep going.
Okay. This one might be hard, but this is very rare.
I do not know. Play more.
I think the sound quality is hurting you. I feel like you would actually get this, but here. Wait, did somebody get it? No, yes, for a gimmick. Okay, here.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Zach, always on the money.
Yes, that is a very good choice. Although, yeah, it doesn't sound quite as bright as usual. Maybe
it's the sound quality. Honestly, I think if we had a better version of that, it would probably be a giveaway.
A better Lynn Buckley.
A better. Yes, Steve. Okay, are you ready for next?
Yes, so ready. There's a few I'm waiting for.
Well, I didn't necessarily do the most obvious ones.
Okay. Whoa.
I would just like to state for the record, no, in fact, I did not say I loved you.
You said, and I did not say I loved May.
I don't know her.
Play it again, please.
Okay. Somebody got it? Yes, Josh.
Yes. I could hear it in the think about you. It was very Margaret Johnson.
I have to say, I feel really bad because, I am not the most supportive of Victoria Clark, particularly her work in Follies. Mm-hmm. And I usually listen to her. How dare you, Zach? I usually listen to her in when she did the Bernadette track, when they took the Bernadette production to LA.
Oh.
But they was the Kennedy Center before Broadway, then it was Broadway, then they played LA with the Broadway cast, except Bernadette didn't do it in LA. Everybody else did, and Vicki Clark did Bernadette's role. And that's the one I've heard where I feel like, I don't want her fucking soprano in this part. And I forgot, going back to the Encores production, which it was like, 6 or 7 years before that, which is what this is from. You could have a lot of complaints about her singing here, but you wouldn't say it's too soprano-y, And I feel guilty. I feel like it's my fault that she sounds so bad because I feel like she has a time machine, and to make me happy, she tried to belt it, and so she sounded so bad.
I mean, yeah, just a bad vowel choice. I guess maybe you kind of have to do that if you don't have a great belt because it opens things up, but that's very extreme.
I mean, are we to understand that in rehearsal she did that and it was a little better? Otherwise they would have just said, forget it, just stay in head voice.
Mix it, you said you
Betty! Oh my god. No, Betty, that wasn't you. We have to. Betty, did I delete it already? The Betty.
We already had Betty, and Zach Couch guessed it.
The Betty one was thrilling. It was from the Olivier Awards in 1995. Oh my God. We have Betty Buckley in the house. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Yeah, we really need to get a better quality video of the Betty one because it was actually really wonderful and nobody could really hear it that good. But somebody got it. Who got it? Zach Couch. He always got it. Okay. Ready for one more?
Yes, one more. Losing My Mind.
Okay, here we go. This is the one that anyway.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's Julia McKenzie.
Julia McKenzie.
I was waiting for that one. I was kind of hoping you'd play the Barbara one as well because
I should have played the Barbara one.
Although, I mean, I don't like her version because it's
Wait, we have Betty Buckley here. You guys kill me. The whole Joan Chasing rehearsal is riot. But I have to tell Betty, I was thinking about you because there was a thread yesterday on Twitter that friend of the pod, Dan Jinks, had started, I believe, about the musical Annie and saying that his favorite, he was like, my favorite filmed version is the TV version with Kathy Bates and Victor Garber. And he's like, come for me if you want. So some people, of course, were saying, no, I love that version. And I was, being really sassy and bitchy about it. And somehow, I don't know why, it got derailed into a Glenn Close Sunset Boulevard thread. And
as all great threads do.
And as always, if you talk about Sunset Boulevard, eventually everybody gets really angry and hostile. And exactly right, Betty. Neither of us dudes could. Daniel could get much closer than I could. But if you talk about Glenn Close and Sunset Boulevard, or Patti LuPone, if you talk about Sunset Boulevard at all, people get very hostile and fighty. And then eventually everybody agrees that Betty Buckley was the best. Yeah. And it was so insane because I was just waiting thinking, God, like, I think she follows a lot of different, that was Wayfair. I didn't even order anything. I think she follows a lot of different people that were on the thread. And I was just waiting because I'm like, everybody's just coming in one at a time. Betty Buckley. Yeah, no, Betty Buckley. I mean, if we had a political choice in the United States that people could agree on the way they agree on Betty Buckley and Sunset Boulevard.
Yes.
We wouldn't have any of these problems.
That's right. We love you, Betty.
We love you, Betty. And we're going to find, you know what, I bet Andrew Gans can hook us up. There's got to be a better quality video of Betty at the Olivier Awards singing Losing My Mind.
Yes. I'm sure we can get our hands on one.
Although I think the video I used might have been from Betty's own personal YouTube account.
Oh, interesting.
See, this is the problem. Back in the 90s, when we would tape things on VHS, they didn't play on the same players we had in the States. So what we need is some of our London friends.
Caroline.
Yes, but Caroline is young. Like, I think like back when I was like taping Betty on the Olivier Awards in Sunset Boulevard, Caroline was like in a diaper, I don't think she taped any, you never know. Some people are very precocious.
I also have to say, I follow, of course, Betty on Instagram, and I also follow her brother, and they have been doing a deep dive of the garage of their mother, Betty Bob.
Buckley, represent.
And I have been so invested in the journey of their organizing and cleaning out Betty Bob's house. And it was also recently her birthday, I believe. So, like, I really just feel like I'm an honorary part of the Buckley family right now.
Me too. Well, we have to have on the pod, friend. Oh, here we go.
Here we got some intel.
Forget all that. Betty sang May at the end of With One Look because the musical director told her to. Then her voice teacher trashed her and said, never do that switch to me. Don't have a better Losing My Mind version. Well, we are going to find a better Losing My Mind. I don't have that many talents. I certainly couldn't sing Sunset Boulevard even as well as Glenn Close, let alone any of the ladies we discussed. But the talent I do have is I can find a better quality video of Betty singing Losing My Mind at the Olivier Awards. And I am on it.
Yes, we will make it happen. I love that that we got a little peek into the vocal process. That was very, very good intel.
It's fascinating too, because, you wonder how these things happen. Like, they must have been in rehearsal with Glenn Close. Mm-hmm. And they obviously really wanted Glenn to belt the end of that song. I mean, so much so that they added a modulation, where she comes, silent. I forget where it is, but she comes in. It changes keys to a lower key, which had not been in the song before, so that she can belt the end. And then they had her switch the vowel, so that was important to them.
Yeah,
and obviously Betty had no problem. You are part of the family. Gotta go work out later. We love you, Betty, and we'll share the video when we find it. But it's like, this is how these things happen, right? So they're in rehearsal with Glenn and they want her to belt, and they change the key and they change the vowel and they add the key change, and then she can belt the end. So then they're later in the run. Like, clearly Betty could have belted the same vowel without changing the vocal. Could have belted a different vowel without changing, just as strong,
Yeah, Betty could belt anything.
Yeah, so why, and by the way, pure E vowels, I think, are Betty Buckley's specialty. It's not like touch me. It's so easy to leave.
The E-est of all the vowels.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe some people do struggle with that. I said a more closed sound on the E, but like that's like Betty's forte, or forte.
Forte. Betty's forte is the E. Nobody sings them Betty.
Locked into notions. Thank you. I knew we kept her. She was going to work out, but she supported us on that point.
Oh, I love it.
We have to have Natalie Joy Johnson on one of these times, because she used to do a funny thing where she would talk about her voice teacher would tell her, not in performance, but in rehearsal as like a warm up, to sing songs strictly on an E vowel.
Oh.
Natalie would do this thing for me where she would just sing a whole song just on an E.
With Winley, Beaking Breaking. Oh, Natalie Joy. We need to have her on here. I miss her.
Oh, but I was going to say, speaking of the Buckley family that we're apparently honorary members of, Betty's niece, not Norman Buckley's daughter, but her other brother, I'm not sure what his name is. Her other brother, I got trapped in listening to you. her other brother's daughter, Erin Buckley, is a good friend of mine and ours, who's in our writing group, and she is a brilliant, she's a brilliant actor, but she's also a brilliant writer and director and filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And she has a TV series that we want her to come in and talk about. And I always, every time I'm with Erin, she thinks I'm going to start fangirling out about Betty and make her tell me stuff about Betty. But all I ever want to know is about Betty Bob. I'm like, tell me about your grandma. I want to hear about Joe T. Garcia's restaurant in Fort Worth.
Oh my God. I love Joe T. Garcia's. I haven't been there in ages.
You've been there?
Yeah. I have lots of family in the Fort Worth area. So I've been to Joe T. Garcia's. I think Fuzzy's, the taco place, originated in Fort Worth, which is like my favorite place to get nachos. Anyway, but yeah, that is, oh my God, I love it so much.
That was a lot of excitement.
A lot of excitement. Okay, let's see. Where are we? We're good on time. Do you want to you have a product I know you want to talk about?
I do. I'm so excited about this product. Okay, so now, the product I am placing today. Oh, we still need to come up with a cute name for this.
I know. I've been racking my brain trying to think of one. We'll come up with it.
Now we have 2 assignments for the listeners, the viewers. Help us come up with a name for our fans. Right now, all we have is Die Hard Dollies.
Die Hard Dollies.
And, so we need a name for our fans, and we need a name for this segment, better than product placement.
Okay.
Okay, so the product I am placing today is from Target. It's their Market Pantry brand, and it is their sparkling cherry limeade. Thank you. And
water beverage.
It's a sparkling water beverage, and that's an important distinction, and I'm really glad they make it.
Well, I have to say, I love this Market Pantry brand. The reason Target is such an outlier and so successful, at least in my mind, is because they're really worried about the branding of everything, and everything they want it to look of a certain quality. You know, it's not just like great value, like blah blah blah, bad design. It's like even their in-store generic brand is beautifully designed. And a few years ago, I went there to get all these things for Thanksgiving, making Thanksgiving meal. And I wanted everything to look uniform in my cabinets and in my kitchen. So I bought the Target Market Pantry brand of everything. So sleek. It's like all red, beautiful red labels with this gorgeous typography and, you know, very minimal and
it's funny you should say that because of course you make me see that because, you know, I'm like sort of visually inept, so I don't and colorblind, so, you know, I don't, and not like the good colorblind of like we're all one race, like the like lame colorblind is like I thought those paint colors would work, I guess my kitchen's ugly. But there's you'll see at any store, any supermarket or any drugstore you go to, CVS, whatever, there's always this store brand of these sparkling water beverages. And they don't always say sparkling water beverages. Oftentimes they say flavored sparkling water. And you think that it's just like the equivalent of getting like, you know, where there's sparkling water, like a LaCroix, like where there's like an Essence. And they'll have those as well. But then they also have these. And what these actually are sodas, and they're diet sodas, and they're less unhealthy than some diet soda slightly because they're flavored with sucralose, i.e. Splenda, as opposed to aspartame, which would be NutraSweet, or even worse, saccharin, which would be sweet and low. And I like the Target brand the best because they have this fabulous flavor, cherry limeade, and they also have a flavor I really like, which is strawberry lemonade. But like you can never go wrong with the black cherry flavor that most of the stores have in their line. I also really like any of the flavors they have that are like mandarin lime or like orange lime.
I really appreciate a sparkling beverage that's two flavors combined, usually lime and something else.
But these, I just can't stress this enough because I think people buy them and they think they're something else. They're not, it's not like a LaCroix where it's like, there was some stand-up comedian made a joke about LaCroix that it's like you're drinking a plain seltzer and somebody in the room next door is going, Pamplemousse. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like that. They're actually soda. Like they're as flavored as like 7-Up or ginger ale or whatever, you know? But you get these 1 liter bottles. They're always like 99 cents or like even less.
Brilliant.
And I love them because to me, they're a single serving size.
It's about a half serving.
But I love them. And I love the Target, Daniel's the one that turned me on to it. There's an app called Shipt, SHIPT, where you can order stuff from Target and a few other stores, but notably Target, for same-day delivery the same way you, or not same day if you don't want that, the same way you would get from Instacart or whatever. But it's great because it's Target. They sell so much stuff. So there's a lot of things you might want to order on other websites. And I think we're not supposed to support Amazon nowadays, but Amazon, the fastest you can really get anything on Amazon other than their supermarket stuff is the next day. But Shipt, you get same day. So, you know, if you want like a cable for your computer or a down comforter,
a new kitchen plates or bowls, or I mean, I think I ordered some bowls when I was doing Shipt. And we're not supposed to support Amazon, but it's so hard right now just because we're all at home and there's, you know, we're not supposed to be out. We're not supposed to be like, you know, in indoors with people. So, but Shipt is a good alternative, and Target's a good organization, I think. Scott Yannick has an idea for a segment name, Gotta Get a Gimmick.
I'm not sure. I think we want something more like about that specifically has to do with selling or product.
Selling Sunset Boulevard. We're gonna workshop this. Okay, well, we have a few minutes left for our final segment that we did not get to do last week. Dolly Concert Kill.
Ooh.
Submissions in. Here we go.
I love this.
Wait. Zach Couch, Broken Rex.
I think maybe we would spell it RECS, so it'd be like recommendations.
Okay, Broken Rex, love it.
Loving this is kind of cute.
for your non-spawn con. Non-sponsored
content.
Oh, love it, love it. Loving this is not a choice. It's who I am. I don't hate that.
No.
Well, okay, so y'all submit your Dolly concert kills, 3 performers, and then we'll categorize them in those different categories. I have a mail-in submission by our friend Dan Fortune, aka Mucho Music. He's at a doctor's appointment. He was not able to watch live today, so he emailed in his submission, and I have it right here. Dolly concert kill, Bruce Valanche, Divine, and Harvey Fierstein.
Fantastic. Thank you, Zach. Okay, wait. Bruce Valanche, Harvey Fierstein, and who's the other one?
Divine.
Who? Divine. Oh, fantastic. Wow, this is a very hard one.
I know.
Bruce Valanche, Divine, and Harvey Fierstein. Wow. Okay. Well, I would want to see. I hate to say this because Bruce Valanche is actually a friend of mine. Like I have had lunch with Bruce a couple of times. I worship him, and he came to my show. But I think I would have to see Divine in Dolly because I think that would be a Dolly like we've never dreamed.
Like we've never dreamed, maybe in our nightmares.
Like it actually, yeah. Like now I'm like, I really want to see that. Like I want now somebody else, like maybe me, or no, it should be Ryan O'Connor. But like somebody should like do Divine as Dolly.
And can you imagine her at that dinner table scene? Just like, I mean, didn't Divine like? She was known for like every morning she would eat like a dozen donuts. Like,
yeah. And maybe there's like a little winking moment at the end where like a little dog runs across the stage and takes a shit. And like Divine's like,
no, stop.
Yeah. And I would say I want to see.
Pardon the expression. That's the moment.
Then I want to see Harvey in concert because I never have. And I actually think Harvey is maybe not overdue, but due for a Elaine Stritch at Liberty. Like I really think, for Harvey to talk about the Warhol days and, the origins of like Torch Song at La Mama and
working with Jerry Herman.
I mean, what it was like to work with Jerry Herman and Arthur Lawrence and, to have an out gay love story musical comedy on Broadway in the peak of, the beginning of the AIDS epidemic. And, and what it has been like all these years to be this sort of elder gay statesman of Broadway, and Hairspray and all that. And I would really, really love to see that.
He gave the final speech at the Jerry Herman Memorial, and he was so funny. I mean, he was telling a story about going over to Jerry's to meet with him to do work on La Cage, and he's just a fabulous storyteller. So, like, yeah, Elaine Stritch at Liberty style evening with Harvey would be great. You've actually changed my answer. I was gonna say Divine as Dolly and Bruce in like an evening with Bruce, just because I know he has a lot of fun showbiz stories.
For sure.
Famously, writing for Bette Midler, writing with Diana Ross. I mean, being in Mahogany. But I think actually you've changed my mind, and I actually do want Harvey now.
Thank you, and thank you, Larry.
Larry agrees. Well, with that, no one submitted anything else, so we're out of time.
But I have one for you.
Okay, go.
Okay, Bernadette, Elaine, and Julia McKenzie.
Elaine Page.
Yeah, sorry.
Bernadette, Elaine Page, Julia McKenzie. I mean, that's so hard. I guess. I mean, I really enjoy Bernadette in a concert. I really, really like watching her in a concert setting. So I guess I would say Bernadette as in a concert. Elaine as Dolly, and then kill Julia. I mean, it's really hard, but I do, like I said, Elaine was my first Grisabella. I do enjoy watching her on stage. Yeah, so that's my answer.
Love it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Come back and see us same time, same place next week. Bernadette, speaking of, always speaking of, here we go.
Autumn, winter, next year.
Time heals everything. It's a song. And time heals everything.